Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today, Tuesday morning. It's January 18th, 2022. The man they call Meathead and the nightmare rumbling, Linda K. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Meathead.
How about that intro? I like that one.
I like it. I love it. Want some more of it.
Very nice. Again, I wish I could tell you that I come up with that stuff, 5 minutes before we go on air. I just make it up as I go.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Hey, you know what else is tremendous? I love the way it fits, but tell us who our sponsor is.
Our sponsor is, as you said, the tremendous Collar and Elbow. Make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com to get the latest and greatest in wrestling street fashions. And to save a little money, you can use promo code LindaK. That's LINDAKAY to save 10% off your order. And you know what, Meathead? You know where I will be seeing some collar and elbow attire this weekend?
Where? At the Packer game?
That, I'm sure, as well as in Cedarburg, Wisconsin at Circle B for
nice.
GLCW Golden Days.
Golden Days. Yeah, don't let them pass you by. Golden Days.
Yeah. Yes, our special guest, Perry Reynolds, formerly known as Marlena, will be our guest of honor. And, we've got our GLCW superstars. We'll have some OVW superstars. You'll have yours truly back on mic duty. I'm
back on the mic, right? Not wrestling.
Right. But there'll be a tremendous show. And, lock in your tickets, blizzardbrawl.com. Get yourself your seats for the Saturday night show. The Saturday night, 6:30 doors, 7:30 bell. We'll see you there.
Do you know the last time I was in that building? I don't know why. I still have this absolutely just memorized. But the last time I was in that building, for some reason, I had Dave and a couple other people challenge me to the Saltine Challenge. I'll never forget it. I'm like, Saltine Challenge, I could do that. Where you put 10 crackers in your mouth and you try to eat them in 60 seconds and then have to blow a whistle with no water. You ever do that?
No, this is news to me, a Saltine Challenge.
Well, that was also the day of the last Bobby the Brain interview that we did that night, too. And then one of the interviews that's probably got the most views on PWR, but it's of Bobby pantomiming pissing on a wall. Oh, hey, hello, how are you doing? Hey, welcome, Bobby, to the program as he's, shaking, to make sure that he got every drop.
Ah.
Oh, Bobby Heenan, we miss you.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit of news here. First off, friends of the Great Lakes Championship Wrestling, friends of the program, friends of the company here, Titan and EC3, Adam Scherr and Ethan Carter III will be wrestling in the biggest wrestling event in the Midwest coming up in March. Linda, did you hear that?
Give me more details, please.
March 7th in Dubai, they will be wrestling for United Wrestling Nation, United Arab Emirates, as being dubbed as the biggest wrestling event in the Middle East. The company, as well as Scherr and EC3's management, confirmed the news exclusively yesterday, I believe it was, to CBS Sports. So, obviously before COVID, WWE would go out there, do 2, sometimes 3 shows in the Middle East. Sometimes they did it in India, South Africa, wherever they did the shows. Those big shows are coming again. And this time, it's EC3 and Adam Scherr going to be out in Dubai.
That's wonderful. Let's get more of the narrative out there, huh? Between EC3 and the Titan himself. This is just great. I mean, I was just thinking, it wasn't too long ago we had these 2 superstars here in town for Blizzard Brawl, and now to see it go as far, as big, as worldwide as Dubai.
Right. I mean, that's halfway around the world, literally.
Yes. I love it. Again.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Let's talk about more traveling news. The WWE will be returning to Jeddah, for the WWE Elimination Chamber. This will be out of the proper WWE pay-per-views. I believe this is the first one outside of North America. Wait, I take that back. SummerSlam. But other than that, 30 years? The Elimination Chamber will be held in Jeddah on February 19th.
You mean the premium live event? Elimination Chamber.
Blah, 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 blah.
It's been 30 years.
Who's paying the haul that chain and that steel?
And for it to be not one of the big four interviews, if you will.
But I mean, they're traveling with a gimmick. So that means they have to bring the gimmick with them too. Who's paying for all that?
Gotta be Mr. McMahon, but I mean, I know that they've reshaped a lot of the company as of late with a lot of the releases and whatnot. So maybe there's a separate budget for travel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, technically they can afford to go out there to Jeddah now because they're not carrying half the company with them. But who are they going to put on the show? Does that mean we're going to get a bunch of legends on there just because, the princes all said, I want to see Goldberg. I want to see Undertaker. Make them wrestle.
Right.
Yes, my impressions are bad.
Goldberg came to mind. I don't know if Undertaker will wrestle, but maybe
Triple H recovered from heart attack. Make him wrestle.
Maybe Pitbull will have a concert and Undertaker.
Joe Montana can throw footballs again. I mean, come on.
I mean, once
maybe Ric Flair and WWE makeup at that point.
Maybe yes. Maybe never say never. When the Royal Rumble hits, the road to WrestleMania officially begins. So they're that's
going to be a long road to WrestleMania because it's going from St. Louis to Jeddah back to Dallas.
They're making this the biggest road to WrestleMania ever.
The international road to WrestleMania.
Taking it to Jeddah. Yep.
Well, it's scheduled to go off on Saturday, February 19th. Now, here's the deal. Saturday, February 19th, but we're used to our pay-per-views 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right?
Yes.
When we've had pay-per-views from Crown Jewel or the Greatest Royal Rumble ever or Super Showdown or whatever it's been called, we usually get those pay-per-views at 11 o'clock in the morning, Central.
Central. Yep.
Yeah. Are we going to have to watch a Saturday afternoon pay-per-view?
Why not?
I don't want to. That's not when I watch pay-per-views.
I'm okay with that. Here's why, because normally it's on like a Thursday or Friday, and last time for Crown Jewel, I was driving down to Louisville, so I had to listen to the audio.
You were the best wrestling listening fan ever.
Exactly. You make do with, like your whatever situation you're in, Meathead. I must have my wrestling. I must stay up to date, and I'm good with the Saturday afternoon one.
I mean, I guess it's not as bad because at that point we'll be heavily, right in the middle of college and pro basketball season. Football should be over by then. When is the Super Bowl again? I think it's the second week of February.
Yeah, it's Sunday, February 13th. The Olympics will have wrapped by then as well.
Yeah, okay.
Forget the Winter Olympics. That's in the mix too.
Well, I love me some Winter Olympics. And again, I don't need to sound like I'm corny, and I only root for it once every 4 years, but give me some curling. I love me some curling.
That's exactly what I was thinking about, Meathead. Outside of, I like figure skating, the luge, but something about, and I probably said this on air before, something about a professional sport that in my shape and my age, I can still compete in that I have interest in. So you're not going to be up there in the snowboarding, the X game type
No,
style?
Shaun Waite's got that covered.
Yes. All right.
Well, WWE again heading to Jeddah February 19th for the Elimination Chamber. I got one more bit of news here I want to get to before we get to Raw from last night. Let the rumor mill start, even though nothing's going to happen. Cody Rhoades is a free agent.
That's interesting. I mean,
technically, he does not have a contract with AEW. He just spoke to Sports Illustrated. It says, I don't have a contract. Tony Schiavone and the Young Bucks just signed extensions with the promotion, but Cody Rhoades is working without a contract right now.
I mean, I know he's a huge part of AEW, but I guess if he's not in the position or division or office that handles the contracts or signs the dotted line, I guess that could make sense.
Well, Cody Rhoades isn't going anywhere, folks. Don't think that he's showing up at the Royal Rumble in 2 weeks. He's AEW, and I mean, if there's an AEW guy that's more AEW than AEW, it's Cody Rhoades. he is AEW.
Right.
You ready to talk
Can you
Raw?
imagine? Can you imagine though? Since the Forbidden Door is open.
The Forbidden Door, so I'm not saying 100%. I'm just saying 99. But it's
maybe Stardust will make it in the Rumble.
Ooh, see, now I would pay to see dashing Cody Rhoades with the mustache.
Yeah.
And if he can get that old entrance where he had the mirror, remember when he would come out in the mirror and he'd stare into it and comb his mustache?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know it, but that was my favorite Cody Rhoades gimmick right there. I could have watched that one over and over.
Yeah. Good stuff. Right.
So let's talk Raw last night. Linda, we both watched. We both said to each other before we went on air, it was okay. I didn't mind it. It was yeah. Here's what I wanted out of this Raw from last night. I thought last week that Bobby Lashley got made to look like a punk bitch. I mean, I'm going to put it out bluntly. Okay? I thought Brock punked him on air, and Bobby had no response. So when I saw Bobby coming in and having a match with Seth frickin' Rollins, it's like, man, I want him to really beat on Rollins. I want him to get strong on Rollins. We're going to get to that tonight. The show opened up with the Man. Remember, the Man is the one that Roman Reigns wants to face instead of Seth Rollins, because the Man is more a star than Seth Rollins is. Well, I did not like this whole opening segment. I thought it was weak. I thought Becky looked fine by herself, and then we had to hear from Mountain Dew Drop. We also had to hear from Bianca Belair, and this and Liv Morgan came out. I didn't like this. This felt like Diva era stuff to me.
I mean, I thought it was going to turn into a women's tag match, but that was the actual match. What I didn't like was how Becky was made out to look definitely much more weaker than Doudrop at the very end. And I get that, they can get heat back and forth and whatnot, but I mean, she annihilated everybody. She's fucking the strongest going into. I mean, I know there's still next week to lead us to the Royal Rumble, but
Doudrop's really got to work against her accent. There's nothing wrong with it. That's her. That's how she talks. But she's really got to work hard, because when she talks, I have to focus hard to understand the things she's saying. And it's not her fault, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, this is an American television program. And you're talking to an American audience that can understand a lick of shit that you're saying.
Maybe she can do interviews where she just speaks. Well, it's English, so never mind. I was gonna say she could just speak in her foreign tongue. I mean, native tongue, not foreign tongue. Oh God, native tongue, but it's English.
Well, she's speaking English. It's just the dialect is different. Here's the problem. She needs to, you know what? I remember there was an episode of Scrubs once where Colin Farrell was on, and he was doing an accent, and like a pure Texas accent. He's like, nah, man, I'm from Texas, down south. I'm like, wow, he sounds good. He goes, no, I'm just taking a piss out of you, mates. I'm like, oh, see, look at that. You can turn it on and off. Look at The Walking Dead. Half the actors on there are English, but sound like they're from Atlanta, Georgia. You can do an accent. Doudrop. Maybe an accent might be something you need to work on.
I mean,
again, there's nothing wrong with her being her, but at the end of the day, this is not a wrestling show that's recorded live. This is a television program that has wrestling as its content that is being broadcast to an American audience that can't understand her.
Well, I mean, I guess what they're really putting Doudrop, out, more for is her, in-ring ability and her size. Yeah. And I guess that's, maybe if it's hard to understand, maybe she just focuses more on the physicality.
What if we got her a manager? Who would you like to see manager and be the mouthpiece?
Eva Marie. Let's bring her back in.
Hey. Ugh.
They worked okay
that went
together.
So well the last time.
I have to think about that one.
What about, I don't know. I mean, if we're going through history, I'd love to see somebody like maybe Ivory talk for her.
Okay.
How about Victoria?
I'm seeing the era that you're.
Yeah, I'm saying, get somebody, because you got to get somebody that's going to match up with a wrestling fan. Get somebody that can come out and talk for her. It's tough. I want to root for Dewdrop. I really do. I know we joke and I call her Mountain Dewdrop, but I really want to pull for her. I'm just having a tough time when she talks. That's all. All right, the match ended up being Dewdrop and Becky Lynch. As you said, Dewdrop looked strong and did the big bonsai drop to Lynch at the end of the match. Kevin Owens welcoming Seth Rollins to the KO show. They missed a verbal opportunity. When I saw Kevin Owens walk up with that tie wrapped around his neck while he's wearing a t-shirt, and Seth Rollins looking as just, with the drip on point. And by the way, that was probably one of my favorite jackets, because he had the leopard skin and then he had the pockets in a different shade of leopard skin. Oh my God, that jacket was awesome. But what I wanted to hear Seth or KO say is, look, dude, I'm in the ring with Seth freaking Rollins. Look at your game. It's on point. That's why I put a necktie on. I just thought that was a missed opportunity. Not that it wasn't a great segment. I just thought it was a missed opportunity.
Maybe he'll get some drip or a special made jacket for next time. They're best friends, apparently.
Well, they're best friends and they respect each other. And he's so proud of them too. Well, Damian Priest comes out and says, you don't want to let out the inner Damian in me. And I just spoke to Adam Pearce. Our match starts now. Damian Priest is a huge star in the making still. And I know I've said this multiple times to you while we've done these shows. He's still missing something. I can't put my finger on it. I want him to succeed. I really do.
I think that having this character right now, where you get Damian Priest, and the demon Damian. I'm not sure. Not demon as in Finn
the
Balor,
Damian inside, I think, is how it's being built.
Thank you. I like that. I think they can keep building
I like it
at
too.
it. I feel that perhaps he can, turn heel using this route as well. I think he's, great as a face right now. But if you want that a little extra oomph to take it over the top, that's, eventually we'll get him in a program where he'll turn on somebody and boom. That's the Damian.
Yeah. And he unleashes the Damian, and the Damian inside of him is the one that leads, and he's got the good Damian Priest inside of him then. I mean, all of that.
Right. Well, I hope he still gets some big title defenses for that United States Championship.
Yeah. I think so too. I'm a big fan of his. The Alpha Academy won the Raw Tag Team Championships last week against RK Bro. They come out to Pomp and Circumstance, the Randy Macho Man Savage music, and they're going to have a graduation ceremony. What do you think?
A little bit ridiculous, but in a good way.
Yeah. You know what? I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Riddle coming out in his own cap and gown because he was never invited. And he's got his t-shirt on underneath that says, Randy. Oh, Riddle. You know what? There needs to be one day where Riddle takes a headshot or something and comes out and just starts talking normally. It's like, whoa, what happened? That wasn't right. That would be fantastically tremendous.
It's got to be still with RK Bro, because then now Randy's got to be the confused one.
Right. I mean, where it's like E = MC squared. Oh, sorry, man. Hey, Randy, you know what happened? Yeah, I need that once, just once. All right. Well, what it comes down to is Chad Gable challenges RK Bro to a intellectual challenge, and Otis didn't like it. Did you see Otis's face where it's like, we're going to challenge intellects?
Oh yeah, that Otis zooming was
scared.
That was hilarious.
That was a pretty sick idea, according to Riddle. So let's talk about Austin Theory and Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon wants to eviscerate Austin Theory, and I've said this multiple times. I don't know what's going to happen with this Vince McMahon Austin Theory thing, but I'm creeped out sometimes. He said he's going to take a selfie with Theory's beaten body and send it to his mother.
I don't even know where to go with this one, Meathead.
Right.
It's a little bizarre.
I don't know where Vince knows where it's going. That's good shit.
I'm not sure. It's cool, you know, Austin Theory's getting this push, getting to work with none other than Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
I want this to make it to ringside at some point. He's always in his office.
You want Vince to come out and hang out and go, that's good shit. Now kick him.
The payoff's going to be him turning on Vince and getting a selfie with Vince on the ground.
Mark the tape, folks. January 18th, 2022. That may be the bombshell right there. Linda, you might be onto something. And then Austin Theory going, that's good shit.
See, yeah, this just came about of us talking right now. I hadn't thought about that at all.
Book it.
You asked me that.
Book it. All right. Well, what he wanted Austin Theory to go out and beat Finn Balor, and then after the match, beat him again and take a selfie with him. Because if you don't, I'm going to beat you up and send pictures to your mom. Guess what? Finn did it. Theory did it. He beat Finn, took the pictures, and came back after he beat him up again. I have to ask you a question, though. Were you taken out of the moment with it being Martin Luther King Day? Finn came out and did his entrance. They came back from break, did a 3-minute MLK package while Finn sat out there the whole time.
Yeah, normally that's what opens up the show.
Right, as it should, because it was a great presentation.
I don't know if that was missed in production. I don't know. It happens.
And the music changed, so Finn's just hanging out there. He's probably cold. I hope he's stretching the whole time. All right, now we're on to Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. I liked her promo in the back about how Rhea turned on her, and she's going to tell everybody how she doesn't need a partner. The winner of the match really didn't happen because we had Queen Zelina and Carmella come out to the ring.
Yeah, the match never officially started, but Nikki ASH walking out the strong one.
As she should. It'll build into the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I was really hoping, we talked about this last week, that she could have been out of that superhero gimmick, or still maybe, but just a different look, maybe darker colors.
Darker colors would be huge.
Or just
black.
Or just not in it at all.
Right.
Meaning, not that
she's a beautiful woman. I mean, take the mask off. It's okay. I mean, we know what she looks like, but we haven't seen her in a while. But then again, a face should be wearing that mask because then they could sell merchandise to kids.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see something transpiring to the Rumble.
I think so. Omos and Reggie. Omos missed it in his promo last week when he says, "You like what I just did? Wait till you see what I do next week." He should have said, "Wait till I see what I do with you next week to you." But we knew that it was going to be an Omos and Reggie match, and Omos looked dominant.
As he should.
As he should. I'm telling you, the Royal Rumble has 5 or 6 spots, designated spots to put people over. The winner, the longest surviving, the most eliminations, middle of the match, second of the match, whatever. Then there's the one that makes it to the end that doesn't belong at the end. I think Omos is a top or final 4 person.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. I mean,
and then they gang up on him.
Yeah, he'll get a lot of eliminations, and I mean, just look at. I mean, goodness, he just got rid of his mentor, his partner, former tag team champion partner, AJ Styles of all people, and he's still looking strong out there. I definitely see him being a strong one for the Rumble as well. I'm not sure if he'll exactly win it, but I do foresee him being like he's had like the final 4. So
that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's going to be in one of those surprise, oh my God, I can't believe he's made it this far spots, where that's what his bump is. That's what his rub is. And then they eliminate him.
Yeah.
Maurice invited Beth Phoenix out to just talk woman to woman. Again, I love Maurice, but on the microphone, I have a hard time understanding her because the French accent is so thick. It's nothing against her. It's nothing against the person, but this is an English-speaking show, and I can't understand them.
Able to pick up what she meant.
I was able to pick up what she meant too, but it's tough.
Yeah, but I liked seeing that interaction though with her and Bethany.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because she doesn't get the time recently to do this. It's always Miz talking, so I was happy to see her talk, and I'm happy to see Beth Phoenix talk. I mean, Beth Phoenix with Lita coming back, is there a run for Beth Phoenix in the works?
I mean, that's good possibility there. I feel. I mean, simply because her stepping away from the NXT duties, she didn't
You said
necessarily have to still be in this. I mean, maybe for a little bit, because if you're touring a bit, going to the
yeah.
live shows and whatnot, but it's still something that could still have been done if she wanted to still go back to commentary at NXT, but
Yeah.
instead stepped away from that.
I think we already have a commentator possibly making a debut in the Royal Rumble per Matthew Thomas. We think Corey Graves may be returning.
That's right.
Let's talk
clear now.
Yeah, he is medically clear. Let's talk Street Profits, Mysterios, Dirty Dogs, Apollo Crews, and Commander Aziz. Commander Aziz also looks like he could have that, big guy elimination type spot in the early part of the match.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Especially since, and being featured in more prominent matches on Raw.
He's actually in matches consistently.
Mm-hmm. Not the one where it was supposed to be him and AJ Styles, and then it was
Apollo
Crews.
And not Raw Underground either. All right. Profits and Mysterios win the 8-man tag. I was mildly entertained by the fact that the Mysterios looked at each other and said, let's eliminate the Profits so they know what it's like. Oh, look at that. And Dominic standing on the rope. This is awesome. And his dad eliminates him. That was kind of funny.
That was.
Because it was funnier to look at the Profits staring at Dominic on the outside of the ropes. Or, outside of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
That was entertaining.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Funny, haha.
Were you entertained by the Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar video packages? I enjoyed them. I don't know how many more times we're going to see them, but for seeing it the first time, I absolutely loved it.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing I will say, WWE has been doing a nice job of providing recaps of history between two opponents.
I mean, it's all about the numbers promo again for Royal Rumble. I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. I was just gonna say though, like on SmackDown when we got the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins recaps, the Shield history and whatnot, and when he cashed in at Mania, this was great to see. I know a lot of us who watch a lot of the WWE documentaries and just watching wrestling our whole lives know the individual histories of Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, but having it pieced together like this just to show their similarities. I mean, just how similar their training,
right, how similar their career paths are.
Yep. Yeah. So that was great to see. I'm already excited for this match, but
I'm very excited for the match. I think it's worth the price of admission alone. But the match of the main event last night, it was Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins. Seth frickin' Rollins is on fire right now, pun intended. But Bobby Lashley also should be on fire. Remember, I started off this program by saying I wanted to see Bobby Lashley come out mean and aggressive. Well, that's not what we were going to get last night. What we got was interference. Interference from the Hurt Business going after Bobby. Interference from the Usos, the ones going after Seth Rollins. So we got a double DQ. I really think the whole smiling, I'm excited, I'm happy. Corey Graves snippet from After the Bell, smiling Bobby Lashley is not what's going to do him. I think they're doing him a disservice.
I guess, yeah, they didn't really. I mean, they're promoting, a WWE official podcast, but I like the Bobby we did get during the match. I know we got that same spot, where you spear your opponent to the barricade. Okay. Yes. But that also led into how the Usos came in because Seth was distracted by that. Because I was going to say, this match was supposed to be between Seth and Bobby. And might I bring up that spot where it looked like Bobby's knee could have legitimately torn something? Oh. Glad. Hopefully he is okay still. But it was a surprise the Usos there. I mean, it makes sense.
It makes super sense because you know what?
On SmackDown and our Raw.
Seth,
boom.
Yeah, Seth ran his mouth tonight, and he figured he could because the Usos wouldn't be there, and the Usos made sure that they knew that he can't run his mouth. No, that makes 100% sense.
Yes, keep it rolling, baby.
Keep it rolling. It makes me wonder what's going to happen on SmackDown. So I'm happy about that. So overall, Raw was okay. That's kind of how we started off, right? We both said, yeah, it was all right. enjoyed some of it. I mean, there's stuff that obviously needs work every week, but you know what? It's a TV show that I'll still watch. I'll watch it next week. We'll be fine. Linda, we're less than 2 weeks away from the Royal Rumble. Are you excited?
Yes, I am the Nightmare Rumbler.
So you're the Nightmare Rumbling, Linda K.
Watching the Royal Rumble, indeed.
All right. Some people call you Maurice, too. All right. For Linda K, the man they call Meathead. Linda, thank you for stopping by and getting back into Milwaukee to record with us. I know you had a big weekend down in Louisville. We got Matthew Thomas tomorrow morning. We're going to get ready for AEW and talk about a little bit of NXT from tonight. So for Linda K, the man they call Meathead, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. So long, everyone.